Hello. So in this video, we are going to talk about a list of user-defined types. Now we've talked about lists and we talk about user-defined types. So everything that we're going to cover here there shouldn't be anything new. You should be able to synthesize them from what you've already learned. But I just want to make sure there's no gap in our understanding of things. So we've used list quite a bit. We've seen lists of ints, floats, and strings, etc. Those are the built-in types. And so here, we have a list named numbers that have the number 1, 2, 3. Just pictorially, we have a name. And remember, everything, a name is always associated with a reference to the actual object. So the actual object here is a list. And then inside the list, each element is yet another reference to the actual objects. So the actual objects are int objects with the value 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so this is what the picture looks like of a list of built-in types such as int or strings and other things. Now, what about then list of the user-defined types? Can we have a list of that? Well, yes, definitely, right? So we're gonna use the examples that we have with the the types, the car types. Now, so what we have here is basically we have the car class, and I'm going to create a list just as I create any other list. I start with a square brackets, and then I'm just going to create instances of cars, and I created 2 instances, and then I can actually loop through the list, and for each car I just print it out, right? So one thing kind of to know here is the reading causes anonymous objects. I mean, these are, so they don't, each of these cars don't have their own specific names. You just get to them by using a loop or using the index. So this would be an index 0, and this would be an index 1, so on and so forth. So there shouldn't be any big surprise here. Now, so just let me run this. Basically, there are 2 cars, right? Two cars in the list cars, and this is their string representation. All right. Now, pictorially, this looks very much like a list of the built-in types. All right, we start with the name, which is cars. It points to a list object. Inside this list object, there are 2 elements. Each element is a reference to a car instance. So the first one points to Honda Accord. The second one points to the Tesla M3 Model 3. Okay, so that's that. Again, it's very consistent with the picture for the built-in types. Okay, so what happens when we kind of assign an element to something else? Well, shouldn't be anything surprising here, hopefully. But if I assign cars 1 to cars 0, what happens is just like you assign something a name to another name. Is both of them are now pointing to the same object. And I drew that wrong. Okay, there. It's good to see. So okay, this is what's in what's the original. These. Okay, so kind of think about what I should print out here. Should I be printing out Honda or should I be printing out Tesla? Okay, hopefully you are not as confused as I was. This should print out the Teslas, right? Because yeah, cars 0 is pointing to what car 1 is pointing to. So this is Tesla. And like I said, I drew it wrong here. I apologize. Let me fix that on the fly. All right, there we go, fixed. Okay. Oh, so that's what happens when you assign an element to another thing. Okay. What about another thing that we do? What if we go through one of the elements and change change an attribute in that element, such as, let me take this out, not to confuse ourselves. Oops. Okay, there. Yeah. So if I go through element 0 and set its year to 2010, okay, what's gonna happen? What's gonna print out after I do that? All right, so we go through element 0, that is the Honda, and we change the year to 2010. Right, that's it. The cars at index 1 was now changed because we didn't go through that. All right, so this is what happens pictorially. Again, car 0, and that is this object. Okay. So hopefully that's understandable. Now it's your turn to give this a quick try. So the first thing that I would like you to do is pick an element in the list, right? Maybe element 1, and assign it to a new instance of car, right? Try to draw this same picture and think about what and kind of see what the picture ends up looking like if you assign element 1 to a different instance. And then you should print out a list to verify that what you draw is what you see on the screen. So that's the first exercise. The second exercise is, you loop through the list of cars, okay? And for each of the cars, subtract 1 from the year attribute. And then after you do that, again, print out the whole list to verify it. I think I'm going to leave you to try this out on your own. And again, should be fairly straightforward. If you have problem, please ask in the forum. And that's the end of this video.